Hi everyone. Yeah, so this is, I guess, one of my first videos. So today I'm actually going to be looking at the Ryobi brush cutter attachment with the Ryobi 40 volt brushless system. So this is the 40 volt brushless system box. I've used the brush cutter attachment already. It's actually 3 blades, but they're blunt, which is actually pretty good. Can't, I guess it works by pulverizing the brush that I'm going to be cutting. The guard here is metal, it's not plastic. So this brush cutter, I actually got it last year. It is an attachment, it's part of the expandit system that both Ryobi, Craftsman, Tremor Plus, and a few other companies agreed to work with. I actually like it a lot better. So previously I used the brush cutter with the Craftsman 4-cycle and motor over here. It actually worked pretty well. The connection for the attachment is over here, and this is the original handle for the 4-cycle Craftsman trimmer that I had, and this is the original trimmer head. So the thing is, like, I'm very happy about the whole expanded system. Years ago, if I wanted to put a brush blade on a trimmer, you would have to change out the head. You change out the head and you put the trimmer, brush blade on it. Whilst a lot of screws, you accidentally did not screw something appropriately, it could come off and you can get potentially very hurt. So I like the idea of being able to disattach right here. It's pretty simple. Here you open up the cap and there's a bolt on the other side. Pull this off and you can put the other thing on. Now all these attachments come with a little cap, which I have a cap over here. This is the cap for all the attachments. I like the new Ryobi 40 volt brushless system, not just only because it's brushless, so it should have as much power as the gas. So one thing that I was always worried about switching over to electric is the fact that with gas you get a lot of power and you get that constant power, but with electric, I didn't think I would get as much power. However, because it is a brushless system, I feel gives you a little bit more power. How it compares to gas, I'm still trying to figure that out. I went with the 40 volt system rather than Ryobi one because I already have a Ryobi blower and leaf vacuum, and those were both 40 volt, both run on 40 volt batteries. The other thing about one thing I like about this, so one thing is this brushless system, this trimmer system. I put the brush cutter's handle on it. It is much more sturdier than this one, which I do have inside this box. If you look over there, that's what the handle looks like. It's very similar to that one. The other thing I really like about this new system, I didn't think you couldn't really improve upon it, but the Ryobi did improve upon it, and that's over here. So this is their quick system in terms of taking off and adding attachments. It's as good as just turning this, pulling it off, which I'm trying to do with one hand. Let me see if I can do it like this. So there you see, it's now 2. Now if I want to put this back on for this brush cutter, just have to do this. Alright, there. So now it's in, the pin is in. All I have to do now is just turn this until I can't turn it anymore, and it's in. With that one, it does involve nut and bolt, but it's not, this is not that bad, but this is even simpler. So I do like that. This You may have to use tools sometimes. This I definitely don't need any tools at all. So I do like that. The other thing I like is it's very, very light compared to the gas model. Um, and of course it's light now because there's no battery in there. Once I put this battery in, it's not going to be as light anymore. Um, Other pros and cons. So with this string trimmer, you have to use gas and you have to use oil. I don't like using gas and oil as much because a lot of times I do find myself adding gas, finishing a job, and I may not be using the trimmer for a while or the brush cutter for a while, and I have leftover gas in there. And if I'm not vigilant enough, I may forget that I left gas inside the trimmer. With this, um, it's just a battery. Put it in, take it out, very easy. Um, so there is that. I'm going to take out this battery now. This is the battery. I did use this the other day, so um, it's not at full charge. It's at 3. Yep, it's at 3. And I plan to use it a little bit later today, and we'll see how it works. Before I put the battery in, just want to show on this brushless system you have low, you have high in terms of the setting. With this one, it's just one trigger, so you just have to, you can't press this by itself. You have to click this in, and then like that, and then it works. Even with this heavy battery, I don't feel like it's as nearly as heavy as the string trimmer. The other thing about the string trimmer, you have to prime it, you have to pull, the pull system just to get it running. There's a lot of smoke that comes out of the back, and it's loud, but that's what to expect with the combustion system. I do feel that the electric is not as loud, so that is a big plus, and there is no smoke. And so I can definitely hear. I don't need to rely on wearing my ear mufflers. I still probably will wear them, but I really don't think I need to as much as I needed to before. The other thing to keep in mind is that with the gas, once you let go of the trigger, once you have it off, it's off. You have to go ahead and prime again, pull again, get it started. Of course, if you're starting right back up after, turning it off, it's not that bad to turn it back on because you just used it. The engine's still warm. But with the electric system, it's just that push of that button. Any given time, you don't have to put it down, and with this system, you have to pull. You have to pull it, on the ground. At least I have to pull it on the ground to get it started back up again. With this one, it could still be in my hand. I can just stop for a moment, take a look at what I'm cutting, and then get started back up again. With the other one, not so much. Here's the battery. I'm going to put the battery in on this thing just to give you an idea. So just slip it in here. It's on. I'm going to just put it on low. Good. So just give it a whirl and see how it turns. So it stopped. It stopped, but I want to turn it back on again. And in a little bit, we're going to see how well this works. I do love this expanded system, and I'm happy that Craftsman, Ryobi, and all the other ones, Tremor Plus, and I believe a few other companies are participating in this together. So I was able to use a Ryobi attachment on a Craftsman motor. I have a Tremor Plus tiller That's part of the expanded family that I'll be using. I'm probably going to be using it on this Ryobi brushless system. So overall, I'm very, very happy. It does work really, really well, and I'm going to show you guys that either later on in this video or in a new video. All right, that's all there is about this. Thank you. Take care. All right, I'm going to show an example of the brush cutting ability of this brush cutter attachment, this Ryobi one. And in terms of the motor, it's the brushless 40 volts, and I believe I have 3 out of 4 bars. And yep, I have 3 out of 4 bars. Not going to do a very long test, but it'll be a test nonetheless. So a couple of things. I've already used this. I know it works. You see how thick the brush is over here? This whole area used to be that thick. But with this small little device, I've been able to cut all this down pretty much, I want to say, hour and a half altogether. I did go through one battery completely for sure, but that's because I put it on high power. I'll show you where that would be on this device. Right there, it's set up on high right now. For now, I'm going to put it on low, and then I can switch it to high. There's the trigger. This is safety, so I can't press this by itself. Hopefully it'll be enjoyable for all of you and give you a good idea of how good this attachment is and this machine is overall. I'm going to hand it over to my assistant, and he is going to videotape this part. One thing I just want to mention when I did do the cutting, so this device is, especially that brush cutter, is very, very good with brush. But one thing I noticed it was not good with is like tall grass. It gets stuck within the wheel, wraps around. Because even though it's cutting it, it's not clearing that grass out of the way. Because these are much more powerful, thicker stalks, and they're not as compact together as grass would be. It clears a lot quicker. So I'm going to go ahead and start this up. Alright, here we go. So the cool thing is I stop, and if I want to go back at it again, just press the button. That's the one thing I do enjoy with having a cordless tool versus gasoline. Even though I do feel the gasoline is a little bit more powerful than the brushless motor, this thing will still do the job, and it's pretty close to working the way a gasoline engine would work. Mainly probably because it's brushless. That's just an example of how this machine works. I do recommend it for anyone who has brush to get cut in their backyard. But if you don't want to get like a big brush mower, because I do know a brush mower would work, but it's a little bit overkill sometimes, especially if you don't have a lot of land. We have about altogether about a half acre. In terms of brush probably covers maybe a quarter of an acre. The one reason I do wear these long gauntlets, especially when I'm going into there, some of the brush is actually thorny brush. To give you an example, so I don't know if you can see the thorns, but there are thorns all over here. So I like these because they're actually meant for like pruning roses and the rose bushes. So it provides a pretty good protection. Okay. So thank you all for viewing this video. Hopefully all of you will subscribe. It's my first one. Hopefully I'll be doing a whole lot more, and hopefully you'll be enjoying it. One other thing before I let you go. With this attachment, as powerful as it is, a few times when I do hit stone, it's not much of a damage, but there's like a small indentation over here as well. So I guess it's to be expected if you're going to be hitting a lot of stones. Unfortunately, can't really avoid them, especially if you can't see them. I know I got this attachment, as I mentioned, from, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but from Home Depot. I believe they do have replacement blades if you want to get the replacement blades. But I think this is going to serve me for quite some time. I'm very, very happy with it, and I'm going to continue with it. Alright, thank you, take care, have a good day.